G'day and welcome back to the MMA Husky Hustler. This week coming from the Apex Center in Las Vegas. I'll be breaking down the fights with my highly opinionated Husky. Let's go. Kicking off the card in the women's bantamweight division, we have Julia Alvira versus Jacqueline Cavalcante. Julia's best path to victory is relentless pressure. If she crowds Jacqueline, forces clinch exchanges, and mixes in takedowns, she can break her rhythm and outwork her over 3 rounds. High pace and dirty boxing could lead to a late stoppage or a decision win. Jacqueline thrives on technical striking and countering aggressive opponents. If she controls distance and lands clean counters and avoids brawling, she can pick Julia apart and win on the scorecards. Strong takedown defense and patience will be key. My prediction, Jacqueline wins by decision. In the heavyweight division, we have Volter Walker versus Dontel Mays. Mays can win if he can defend the takedowns and keep it at a long range with his jab. If Walker can maintain a high pace and avoid gassing out, get this fight to the ground, he has a very high chance of winning a decision victory. Overall, my decision is going to be Volter Walker by decision. In the bantamweight division, we have Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. Morales' path to victory if he keeps the fight standing and outstrikes Smith and defending his takedowns. With counter-striking and movement can frustrate Smith and he avoids getting dragged into a brawl. Smith wins by applying constant pressure, closing the distance, and implementing his wrestling to control the fight. If he can land takedowns and stay on top, he could grind out a decision or look for a ground finish. Originally, I had Vince Morales winning. However, seeing him at the weigh-ins and having to get the curtain drawn up so that he could just literally make weight, I'm going to go with the debutant in Elijah Smith winning by a decision. In the featherweight division, we have Chaos Williams versus Gabriel Bonfim. Williams wins by keeping the fight standing, using his explosive power and fast hands to overwhelm Bonfim. If he can avoid being taken down and to keep the fight at range, his knockout threat is his biggest advantage. Bonfim wins by getting the fight to the ground and using his elite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling to control Williams. If he can weather Williams' striking storm, Bonfim's cardio, pressure, and ground game will likely wear Williams down over time. I lean towards Gabriel Bonfim winning the fight. His grappling is very high level, and if he can get Williams to the ground, he's likely to be able to control the fight and work towards a submission or ground and pound finish. However, if Williams can keep it standing and land one of his explosive strikes, he can easily end the fight with a knockout. Gabriel has had a lot of submission victories. In this particular case, I'm going to side with him winning by decision due to Williams' durability. Featherweight division, we have Rafael Esteban versus Jesus Aguilar. If Jesus can stay composed and focus on technical striking, maintaining distance, and using his wrestling to avoid being overwhelmed by Rafael's pressure, if the fight goes to the ground, Aguilera has a clear advantage. He is the master of the guillotine choke. Rafael needs to push the pace early, put pressure on Jesus, and try to land heavy strikes. Rafael needs to keep the pressure up and avoid letting Jesus settle into a rhythm, and most importantly, avoid the guillotine choke. Ultimately, if Rafael can maintain a relentless pace, he can overwhelm Jesus and finish him before he has a chance to implement his strategy. And that's how I see the fight going. Give me Rafael by round 2 submission. In the women's strawweight division, we have Angela Hill versus Caitlin Swaza. My Husky's excited about this one. Angela wins by outstriking Caitlin from a distance, utilizing her footwork, speed, and volume to avoid Caitlin's takedowns and control the pace of the fight. Keeps the fight standing, she should be able to win a decision. Caitlin wins by closing the distance, using her pressure and grappling to take Angela to the ground. Once there, she can look for submissions or ground control to win either by a potential ground and pound finish or decision. I lean towards Angela winning this by decision. If Angela can keep the fight on the feet and avoid being taken down, her superior striking should carry her to a win. Hetland's grappling will always be dangerous, but Angela's movement and experience should allow her to stay ahead on the scorecard. So give me Angela by decision. In the featherweight division, we have Conor Matthews versus Jose Delgado. Matthews needs to push the pace early, use his aggressive style, and mix in grappling to put Delgado on his back foot. If he can overwhelm Delgado with pressure and secure top control, he has a strong chance of finishing the fight. Delgado's path to victory is maintaining distance, using his technical striking, and capitalizing on Matthews' aggression with counters. If he can stay composed, pick his shots, and avoid takedowns, he should be able to control the fight. From watching his matches, Jose Delgado is an absolute madman. He'll be looking to come out and finish the fight early. I have Delgado getting the round 1 KO. Middleweight division, we have Adolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. Vieira needs to get Petroski down and work for a submission early before his gas tank fades. Petroski should use his wrestling defensively and keep it standing and wear Vieira out. I'm leaning towards Vieira by submission. Petroski's wrestling is good, but if it ends up in a scramble or bad spot, Vieira's BJJ could be the difference. However, if Vieira can't finish him early, Petroski can take over late. For a prediction, we'll go with Vieira via submission in round 2. In the lightweight division, we have Nazim Sadykhov versus Islam Bonfim. Islam needs to keep the fight standing, utilizing his striking versatility, footwork, and speed to outpoint Nisram. He can avoid the grappling exchanges and keep the fight at range. He has the tools to win a decision or possibly a KO in the later rounds. Islam wins by pressuring, closing the distance, and mixing in striking with wrestling to take the fight to the ground. If he can keep Ismail from establishing a striking rhythm, he can win by decision or potentially ground a pound in the later rounds. Lean towards Ismail winning by decision. His striking speed of movement give him the advantages in the stand-up exchanges, and he can avoid getting pressured by inter-grappling exchanges. Ismail's striking should be enough to outpoint Nazim, so gives me Ismail by decision. And in the middleweight division, we have Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. Dylan needs to make this a gritty, wrestling-heavy fight. If he can close the distance and wear Edmund down in the clinch and control him on the ground, he could break Edmund's rhythm and take over late. Edmund's key to victory is keeping the fight at range and using his striking. If he can stuff takedowns, land his powerful kicks and combos, and avoid fading late, he should be able to hurt Dylan and find a finish. Official prediction will have Edmund by round 2 KO. In the featherweight division, we have Calvin Kattar versus Youssef Zalal. Calvin needs to cut off Yusuf's movement, work behind his jab, and force exchanges in boxing range. If he pressures effectively and lands his clean technical combinations, he can wear Yusuf down and potentially finish him late. Yusuf's key to victory is movement, staying elusive, mixing in kicks, and avoiding prolonged boxing exchanges. To frustrate Calvin, land clean counters, and mix in takedowns, he will control the fight. The smart play here is Yusuf wins by decision. However, his last 6 fights have all finished within the distance, 4 of them coming by submission. For the purpose of my prediction, we're going to go with Yusuf round 3 submission. In the main event, we have Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez in the middleweight division. Jared can win by keeping the fight on the feet, using his powerful hands and kicks to control range. He needs to avoid getting pressured by Rodriguez and looking for openings in exchanges to land a knockout blow. Gregory can win by being aggressive and pushing forward, catching Jared off guard with explosive strikes. His unpredictability and power in exchanges could lead to a KO, especially if Jared gets too comfortable. My prediction, Gregory is going to get a late stoppage, probably around the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round. I would say 4th round KO.